Leopards, it's finally time to read the last chapter of Felix and the Flying Suitcase adventure. Of course, the end of the book never means the end of the art, and his last location will give us some inspiration for some projects that we will wrap up the book with, and then we'll go on to study a few artists from the United States of America, since that is where Felix is from in the first place. So let's get set to travel on with Felix as he flies his suitcase to somewhere new. Of course, please have patience with that earthquake type action in my camera. That was a lot of earthquake action. I had to really turn it around. So you know our Felix has certainly traveled all over, and this is no different. Several more weeks passed, and Sophie often looked up in the sky, watching for Felix. But sadly, she didn't see the little rabbit in the flying suitcase. A week before Sophie's birthday, Dad brought a new letter from Felix. Sophie grabbed the letter and climbed up into her treehouse to read it. Sunny mail for my Sophie, 33 Elm Road, Mansfield, Ohio. So it once again is addressed to Sophie. She is technically our neighbor because the state of Indiana's neighbor is Ohio, where she lives with her family. As always, the envelope gives us clues about Felix's location. This location is one I bet you've visited too. There's the front, and here is the back. From Felix, somewhere in the Everglades, Florida, USA. So boy, is he close to home now if he's in Florida. Let's see what this letter says. I think I'm about to open it upside down, so I apologize. Oh yes, let me turn it for you. Boy, this is full of lots of great stuff. My best Sophie in the whole world. I actually wanted to come home to you ASAP, but it's so exciting here in Florida. I went for a ride on a boat with a giant fan on the back, and it was so loud that I got scared and had to cover my ears. I prefer canoes. There are giant swamps here with sawgrass and unusual trees that have roots that reach out of the water. They almost look like gnarly fingers that want to grab you. I saw something moving under one of those trees. It was a real live alligator. It opened its mouth and there were sharp yellow teeth, and it was about 9 feet long. I didn't wait to find out if it was hungry. I paddled faster than I've ever paddled in my life and got out of there very quickly. Then I took a little rest at a beautiful sandy beach, and suddenly something splashed in the water next to me. Do you know what it was? A pelican. They just plop down into the water next to you and catch fish. At any rate, I'm jumping right in the suitcase and I'm heading home. I certainly don't want to miss your birthday. And of course, I have a present for you. I used it a lot here in the sun, but I won't tell you another thing about it. See you on your birthday. Be back soon. Your Felix. Here he drew a picture again. Look at him in the fan boat. He's wearing headphones because it's so loud. That fan is so loud, he would really rather be in a canoe. And check this out. He got his wish. Florida, murmured Sophie, picking up the envelope. A few grains of sand dropped out. She would have liked to have joined Felix at that sandy beach. But getting close to an alligator? No thanks, thought Sophie. If it really was 9 feet long, it would reach up to her treehouse. Sophie, where are you? Called Joanna, her best friend. Stomping around the garden in her new rubber boots, she climbed up the rope ladder. So tell me, she said, what do you want for your birthday? Sophie still had Felix's letter in her hand. "Take a guess," she said. Joanna laughed. "I know exactly what you want. It starts with an F and ends with an Elix." And she was quite right. Let's take a quick peek at some of these animals Felix saw during his canoe trip. There he has this suitcase with him. He's wearing a nice headband. Actually, it looks more like one of those handkerchiefs you tie around your head to protect yourself from too much sun. He has seen a fox squirrel, a raccoon, a purple swamp hen. There's that alligator. Florida panther. And look here, manatee, swamp turtle, and pelican, like the one that just sat down in the water right next to Felix. Florida sounds pretty exciting, but he's ready to come home. That weekend, Sophie's family went out to the country and rented canoes. They climbed in carefully and paddled off. On either side of the river were tall trees, thick bushes. Here and there, you could glimpse a small boathouse. Sophie imagined she was paddling through the swamps in Florida with Felix. "Watch out, there's an alligator," she called. Lena gasped because there was a log in the water that looked just like an alligator. On the morning of Sophie's birthday, there was still no sign of Felix. Sophie was quite impatient at school, sliding back and forth in her chair. What if Felix arrived at home just now? Then she wouldn't be there to greet him. Finally, school was over. Mom made Sophie's favorite lunch, but Sophie was a little too excited to eat a bite. That afternoon, the doorbell kept ringing as Sophie's friends arrived for her birthday. When all the guests arrived, Sophie's mom brought out the cake, and everybody started to sing, "Happy birthday." But wait, what was that strange noise outside? I bet you already know. Sophie ran out into the garden, and there was Felix. He had landed his flying suitcase on a little branch next to Sophie's treehouse, but he was about to fall. "Don't worry, Felix," Sophie yelled as she reached out her arms and caught him. "Oh, Felix, I missed you so much." At the same moment, Sophie's grandmother grabbed a package that fell out of Felix's suitcase. "I think Felix brought you a birthday present," said Grandmother. Sophie unwrapped the package, and inside was a pretty blue bandana. How strange, Sophie thought as she hugged her little bunny. Did Felix really fly all around the world? His suitcase looked just like any old suitcase, perhaps a little dirtier. And Felix, he looked like a regular stuffed rabbit too, didn't he? But if he was just a regular stuffed rabbit, then how did he manage to bring Sophie the present? Get set, leopards. We are going to create some fantastic, fun Florida fine art. After reading that last spot where Felix stopped and on to his arrival back home with his beloved Sophie. Get excited to make some great Florida things.